Hello and welcome back, everyone. In our last video, we saw how a government would actively look to help businesses in the economy grow by providing them infrastructure, financial advice, subsidies, grants, getting into international trade agreements, and such things. That's all to push the business to do more. However, governments will also take good care in making sure the businesses, are not overstepping their mark and will impose certain constraints on the activities of the business. I'm going to look at those here first. Now, in order to make sure that businesses operate within the legal parameters of the country and to make sure that the businesses are not in breach of any laws of the country, the government would have made clear of certain rules and regulations that are put in place to make sure that the businesses are not overstepping the mark. And the governments will require the businesses to follow certain procedures such as making sure that whatever, especially if it's a consumable, whatever ingredient goes in the product, it must be clearly written, including the amount of it that goes in there. So you would see it in things like drinks and milk and other consumables where not only are the ingredients given, but the nutritional facts are also shown in some cases. In Canada, what they require you to do is, of course, do both these things, but they need you to do it in two languages because English and French are spoken there. So they would require you to fill the ingredients in English, like so, and then do the same thing in French, just as an example there. Secondly, the government will also require its financial institutions to disclose any risk disclaimers that may be important for the decisions that the consumers have to make. This is something that is common in all mutual fund industries around the globe, where they're the main central authority controlling the mutual fund industry will require all businesses to make it clear to the investors that this is not risk-free. There are ups and downs. You must be clear about what you're getting into before giving the money. So all those disclaimers must be set out clearly before the investment can be made in a financial institution. And of course, something we've recently discussed is that governments are anti-monopolies. So anytime there's a monopoly forming or there's a fear of it being formed, the government will step in and set up regulations to start disbanding it. And finally, in terms of the financial reporting, governments also require businesses to be truthful, be current, and be accurate whenever they provide their financial information after conducting audits, of course, eventually into the hands of the government. So certain requirements that businesses will have to abide by because those are the requirements of the government. Now, the governments are putting these constraints or restrictions on business activity in order to avoid a situation known as market failure. What is market failure? Market failure occurs when the resources in the economy, for example, the land, labor, the fuel, oil, any other resource, raw materials, when all these resources are not being utilized at their most efficient level, leading to either overproduction of one product or underproduction of one production. Either way, it not meeting the correct demand from the consumers. That's what market failure is. And resources are not efficiently allocated. And what that does is, of course, it means wastage. It means the wrong people are in the wrong business. So there are people who should have had the land for farming are probably using it for something else, and that's for wastage. It's not the most economic use of that piece of land. So that sort of situation is what we call as market failure. And in order to avoid this, government will interfere every now and then to make sure that the right resources are in the right places. Now, when does market failure occur? Of course, the government has to play a role in it, but the businesses are involved in certain activities which will take the industry towards market failure. One of which is not investing in training and development of your workers. There's a concept of poaching, where if you have a fully trained worker, let's say there's someone who's been with you for 5 years and you've trained them, developed them, and gotten them to a certain position, there's a fear that by the time they get to a certain level where they are quite valuable for the company, a rival or a competitor would come in And then want the same person, they'll just simply double their salary or give them something quite lucrative, and the person would just leave for a better payday. That's not good for the business because they've spent their time, they've spent the money on developing this resource, and now the resource decides to leave. That's a wastage for them. So in order to avoid this situation, some companies choose just not to develop or train the workers at all. That is not efficient. That's not what's going to lead to better economic output or better result for the business either. So that's a situation where market failure could be occurring. Secondly, something again we've discussed quite extensively is the formation of monopolies. We understand that if it's one company supplying for all the consumers, that's just not efficient. There's not going to be innovation. It's going to be high prices and all the other things that come with it. Finally, the businesses that operate in large-scale production, they would have large factory. Then, of course, there's going to be some byproduct which will damage the environment. Some toxic waste that was not treated properly, air pollution that's being caused, noise pollution, and businesses, we call these their external costs. Businesses are able to see the costs that occur internally, rent, labor, capital, but the external costs are not borne by the business. The business is not. Once they sell the product, that's it. And these costs of air pollution and noise would have to be borne by either the consumers or the government in trying to correct these measures. So all of these instances that the government wants to avoid. In order to avoid these, they will put in place constraints that will make sure that the businesses are operating within the allowed parameters in the country.